Apocalyptic images from the city of Hyderabad is our big spotlight story here on 5 Live. In the last 2 days, there have been unprecedented levels of rainfall in the city of Hyderabad. Locals woke up to a city that they couldn't recognize as roads were completely inundated, as you can see in these pictures, especially the one you see on the screen behind me of a man being simply washed away and bridges being overflown with water. This was a city completely drowned out as heavy rains left behind a trail of destruction. Here's a ground report by India Today's Ashish.
A man struggles to stay afloat as he's washed away by powerful currents. Cars swept away, buses turned turtle. Roads turn into rivers. Hyderabad woke up to a deluge caused by record rainfall in the city. The torrential downpour caused unprecedented damage, the likes of which hasn't been witnessed in Hyderabad in years. Over 10 lives were snuffed out in the city. The road leading to the international airport was washed away. 3 people also died due to the flash floods in the area.
The intensity of rain, you can just imagine that these trucks, these cars washed away and then completely, it looked like that it is crushed by some heavy boulder or something. The entire stretch is completely devastated. You can see the entire road has washed away. This is the situation of one important road of Hyderabad, which connects Hyderabad International Airport, Rajiv Gandhi International Airport.
मेरा बेटी गया, 2 बच्चे गए और एक जो है सो बेटी गई, एक बच्चा उधर बह गया पानी में। रात के 2 बजे पानी आया था, पूरा बहुत लात मार के चलेगा।
As always, it was the poor who faced the brunt of the floods, wading through waist-deep water, their homes completely submerged. It wasn't just the slums. Every part of the city was inundated. Many locals were forced to stay indoors as water entered their apartments.
This entire basement, it is completely submerged, and you can see the flow of the water. They tried stopping the water entering into, but yes, this is the drainage, open drainage, and they tried stopping the water entering into the basement, but it is completely now filled with the water.
पब्लिक को हम लोग रेस्क्यू करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से ऑल इंतजाम किए गए। पब्लिक मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, आज कल भी बहुत बारिश है करके बोल रहे, तो सब लोग आप घर पे रहने के लिए मैं रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ।
The iconic Hussain Sagar Lake was in full spate, like a raging river passing by the heart of the city. The worst may be over, but it'll take days for normalcy to return in Hyderabad.
After record rainfall, Hyderabad city went underwater, and this is the situation of this smart city. This is not the first time, but second time in 2 months span, city witnessed inundation and flooding in several low-lying areas. And now, big question being asked that whether the government will learn any lesson after witnessing this kind of devastation. With camera person Damodar, Ashish in Hyderabad for India Today.
I want to go across to India Today's Ashish, who's been reporting from the worst affected parts of the city. He joins me live now from a city that is pretty much underwater, as you can see behind him as well. Ashish, we saw those very disturbing images you sent us earlier this morning of a man being washed away in a torrential river-like situation on a road in the old city. Do we know anything about what happened to that man?
In fact, Shiv, I am exactly at that particular location. We are in Falaknuma, and there only these visuals are from this particular location. You can still notice the current, the water flow in this area. It clearly shows that how much rain city or this particular area, Falaknuma area of old city, received. Now DRF teams are here, disaster relief force, NDRF teams are here. Even army people are here. So administration has called in army for relief and rescue in this particular location, in this particular residential area. In this entire stretch, in this entire locality, officials are telling us that is almost 250 to 500 houses are submerged, completely submerged, and now one by one, using boats, NDRF and army teams, they are rescuing particularly kids and women from these submerged houses. So this is the situation of Falaknuma, and it clearly, these water level, these deployment clearly show and reveal the intensity of rainfall city received. If we talk about weather prediction,
Yes.
still weather department say they predict that more rains are very likely over city as well as part of Telangana. In neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh also, several districts, particularly East Godavari, West Godavari districts, they witnessed heavy to extremely heavy rainfall. And this is the situation of Hyderabad. Army on the street of Hyderabad, called in by the administration, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, Telangana government, for relief and rescue operation. It's unprecedented situation not only in this particular area, several other areas. We've been to Shamshabad area, we've been to Secunderabad areas, we've been to Begumpet areas. All these areas also, there also similar kind of situation, inundation, house getting submerged, people stranded in those houses, particularly basements of high-rise buildings are completely submerged. So this is the situation. Power cut. Yes, there is power cut. Almost entire city is under power cut now because we can call it a safety effort or measure. But yes, power cut is a big challenge now. Restorations are on. Meanwhile, Hyderabad MP Asaduddin Owaisi, his MLAs, Telangana Municipal Administration Minister KT Ramarao, Deputy Home Minister Mahmood Ali, all the ministers are also visiting all these affected areas. But yes, still, Shiv, there are several hundred people who are either shifted to relief camp or either still trapped in these inundated colonies.
Okay, Ashish, stay with me. I just want to give our viewers some context because, you know, many will be wondering if they don't live in these areas. What are these rains really all about? How do they compare with similar rains in past years? How bad is this? Because as all of our reporters have been reporting, these are historically bad floodings that we're seeing here. So the heaviest rainfall in Hyderabad so far, we've seen, you know, let me give you some context now to show you what kind of rainfall the city has seen in the past. In September 1908, 153.2 centimeters, 1954, 190 centimeters, 1970, 140, 2000, 240, and I'm talking about the similar time that we're talking about. And if you go through all of the years across, you'll see what it's like right now. It's 45, it's far less, but that's the kind of situation that we're actually looking right now. 45.4. Hyderabad has seen much worse, but it is still seeing the kind of situation that you see today, which is very, very alarming. That's the situation now. Let me also show you about the worst affected districts in Andhra Pradesh. There is Medchal, Malkajgiri, there's Rangareddy district, there's Yadadri, there's Bhuvnagiri, there's Hyderabad. I'm talking about Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Sangareddy district, figures in millimeters. That's what the situation is like right now. These are all the worst affected districts of Telangana that we're looking at right now. Apologize, I said Andhra Pradesh before that. We're talking about Telangana over here. I want to go across now to... Okay, Krishank Mane is a TRS leader joining me live from Hyderabad. We were supposed to also be joined by a BJP leader who has backed out at this time, but I don't want to make this, political, just because the people of Hyderabad are watching. Mr. Mane, what is the TRS and the government's assessment of the current situation? It appears to be quite bad, even though the level of rainfall is not much compared to previous years. This is quite a bad situation.
Well, Shiv, unfortunate that you're comparing something with 1904, 1970s to the city, which is one among the top 5 cities in India today. The population is growing. Hyderabad is a super fast economy, IT hub, and for many reasons, Hyderabad is known today as a top city, a cosmopolitan city. So you cannot see the density of population, the widespread of the city. So you cannot compare those factors to now. But yes,
Krishan, nobody's comparing. Just to be clear, nobody's comparing. That was only to show that the rainfall previously has been much more than it was now. Nobody's comparing it. I mean, our viewers and everyone who watches India Today are very sensible to know. Of course, Hyderabad in 1908 is not the same that it was now. It was just a mathematical comparison of the rainfall. It was not a political statement. Yeah, continue.
Well, coming to the government of Telangana's act over all this unprecedented and incessant rains, the DRF, I mean, your correspondent has clearly mentioned the DRF, the GHMC, the municipal authorities, and led by our municipal minister, all of us are on streets today. All the elected representatives, the entire government staff are requested, be it the police, the municipal authorities, all are requested to be onto the streets to see that people are not troubled with the waterlogging. I mean, the consistency of this entire rain, because last 48 hours, we've seen, Shiv, that there was no gap of even 10 to 15 minutes. The speed, the consistency of the rainfall was high. So day and night, there are works being done. JCBs are being used. DRF is using boats. We are using JCBs to evacuate people from first floor to second floor. The priority is being given to kids, women, elders. Simultaneously, we're moving them to relief camps. We're providing them food. And the electricity also is being restored. I'd like to correct that the entire city, I mean, right now also I'm sitting in a lie because electricity is there. Electricity has been being restored since the morning.
Okay.
There have been mobile issues, and wherever trees have been uprooted also, the work is being done. Everyone in Telangana and in Hyderabad particularly.
Krishant, let me ask you a fundamental question in that case. Okay, we've seen the government out on the roads. That's the government's job to help the people. I'm asking a more fundamental question. I agree with what you're saying, that it's difficult to compare with earlier, etc., etc. But ultimately, these are images that we see in many of our cities. It's not just Hyderabad. We see it in Mumbai. We see it in Kolkata. We see it in Bangalore. We see it in, we've seen it in a very severe manner in Chennai and in Delhi also recently. But like you said, Hyderabad is an IT hub. It's a super city. It's an international city with a great reputation. I have been there as well. It's a great city. I am saying, when are we going to stop seeing scenes of this kind? Because this sends out the message that Hyderabad is not prepared for even a little bit of extra rain. And this is not some historic high rainfall.
Shiv, kindly, don't say little bit of rain. We've been facing it, Shiv.
I know. Krishant, believe me when I'm saying, I'm simply asking.
Considerable for us.
I'm simply asking.
For us.
I am simply saying. But this is not historic rainfall, Krishant. This is not historic rainfall. That's why I'm saying, when is the city going to be prepared for something like this? I'm not asking it as a loaded statement. Tell me what the plan is.
See, number one, there is no other city like India which has a disaster DRF, which has a disaster relief force. Today we have that. I mean, the national disaster team has just entered today, but even before then, work was going on. So we are well prepared with this. And I mean, wherever we are finding the encroachments also, because everyone understands today that how cities have been encroached, lakes, nalas, drainage, sewage systems are being encroached. And you know who are responsible for these? I mean, irresponsibility is across everywhere. And we are trying to clear all those encroachments. We are trying to clear all those encroachments today. One thing is, which everyone has to accept, that climate change is for real. Today, be it Mumbai, be it New Jersey, be it any city in the world, the climate change is for real, and we are unable to gauge that while we are in the almost October, mid-October, and we are seeing such huge rains. So, but nevertheless, as a government, it is our responsibility to see that Hyderabad's citizens and residents should be safe.
Is it a foreseeable situation? Final question, Krishant. Is it a foreseeable situation even with all these variables? And I grant you that there are many variables that nobody has control over, nature, climate change, etc. My question to you is now, as the government in power, is it a foreseeable situation where despite heavy rain, we will not have to see scenes like this? And please remember, these are questions that we ask of every city, and we are especially asking it of Hyderabad because there is a higher standard applicable there.
Shiv, I mean, Telangana has been formed, it's been 6 years. If we've seen the 6 years of these rainfall, Today, we get the figures that it is 400% what earlier rains were than these 6 years. But nevertheless, I mean, we have to expect the difficulties which would happen to the people. That is why Honorable Chief Minister has given a call for a holiday, a shutdown of institutions, and have requested people not to step outside, not to venture outside. The relief measures will be taken up. They're already been, I mean, day and night, all the authorities are operative. The police, we have released the control numbers also, that whoever are in need of help, they have to call up those numbers. Those numbers are being scrolled down. I'd request you also to kindly put up those numbers.
We have them on our screen.
This 2020 itself has been a tough situation.
Absolutely.
While we are seeing a pandemic, a calamity is happening here. But nevertheless, government of Telangana is ready to face it, and our municipal minister, who is already on streets and focusing on all the relief measures which should take up, are being done.
Okay, and we'll be keeping track. Appreciate you taking the time out. I know the government is busy, as it should be at this time, to help the people of Telangana. We'll keep a track and we'll support you as well.
If I can leave. It's raining if I can.
Thank you, Krishank Mane, for joining us here on 5 Live. So that's the situation, ladies and gentlemen, in Telangana. Several parts of Andhra Pradesh also severely affected. So this is a bad situation in that part of the country, and that's the reason why on 5 Live we decided to make it our #1 story.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.